Hello everybody, Ryan here, and welcome back to the channel. I can hear a balloon very, very close to me, which I'm going to ignore for the sake of the intro, as always. Anyways, guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is having a great day and has been having a wonderful new year so far. I wanted to pull up Animal Crossing New Horizons today because it's been a little bit since I've done some morning dailies here on the channel, and unfortunately I did have a bit of a crappy weekend. I woke up on Saturday morning not feeling all that great, and then it even occurred into Sunday as well, so I had a bit of a somewhat ruined weekend, but wasn't going to let that affect me too much. It's nothing too bad. I'm feeling okay. Just a bit of an energy issue and kind of sinuses more so than anything. But I'm feeling okay today, and I wanted to go ahead and kind of start the week off properly by doing some dailies and coming on YouTube and hanging out with everybody and chatting for a little bit and work on my farm as well, which is something I've been meaning to do since the very beginning. So, as always, kick back, relax. That balloon is really bothering me. Let's get out of here. Before we get started, though, always must check the roost first thing whenever I log into this game to make sure that, well, one, that Brewster is okay. I know he always is, but you know, for my own benefit. And just to double check and see if there's any cool new characters at the roost. There usually never is for me. Maybe today's different, hopefully. Oh, nope. Still the same. Hi, Brewster. So, admittedly, over the holidays, Animal Crossing New Horizons has kind of taken a backseat to a lot of the games that I've kind of accumulated over the holiday break. You know, I've been really obsessed with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. I've actually been getting into a lot of backlog of the games in my catalog on Steam, as well as even on PlayStation that I have been putting off for a while. So, I do apologize for the lack of, I guess, Animal Crossing stuff. I know that I did say a while ago that I was going to pull back on making Animal Crossing content. I had no desire to stop completely, but you know, I wanted to just let you guys know that yeah, even though I still love this game and I want to come back to it, and we're coming back to it today, just that, you know, I don't not miss this game. I just, you know, other stuff have kind of taken its place for the moment, which is something that wasn't really able to be done in 2020. And so whenever I pull it up, I still have a wonderful time with it. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful time whenever we hang out together. All right, so that was Brewster. Good morning, Sydney. That was Brewster taken care of. That was getting our morning coffee at the roost. I don't really think there's any important announcements, just about the New Year's. And then, of course, the fishing tournament that, well, I guess it already occurred 2 days ago. I still don't go to Captain's Island, but unfortunately, I also still don't have a lot of Nook miles, only about 4,650, but with that in mind, what I did want to do is I want to go to Nook's Cranny, and I wanted to pick up some of these party lights, the party arch lights that I see, which I've been picking up kind of every now and again. I think they're worth like 2,400 Nook miles, but I wanted to use them on the farm. I've seen some pretty cool farm builds, and I've been pretty inspired as of late. And so what I wanted to do is I kind of wanted to put some party light arches out there and see how it looks. Now that I have quite a few, I think I have 4 currently, and I think with the current price 2,400. Wow, okay, I'm only gonna be able to buy 1. That's okay, but I can at least bring what I have to the farm. You can see what I'm working on. So what I have currently is I have all of my crops just kind of scattered around here on the beach. I still don't really have any desire to harvest them, so I really just leave them out on my farm. And even then, I actually have the achievement to harvest, I think, like 5,000 of a crop or something like that, which is an insane number. But as you can see on the farm here, I actually have a checkerboard pattern currently going, and the reason I have this is because I wanted to kind of get a good idea and gauge of how far the spacing is for this particular plot of land, which is a nice little trick, and I guess a neat little tip for you guys if you're trying to figure out exactly how much of a particular section one thing is going to take up. I know that there are all of these other planning websites that you can utilize as well, but for me personally, I'm definitely more of a visual person, and so when I see the stuff like in-game, it makes it easier for me to see how things will go. I think doing a planning website can be a bit abstract in regards to the kind of planning that I want to do for this type of island. As we work on this island, though, I did want to go ahead and talk about this island, since I have been getting quite a few questions about it every now and again. So I am still planning on updating this dream address at some point in the future. The dream address that I have currently for this island, and during the most recent island tour video, is still this, or the previous iteration of this island before the 2.0 update, before the farm, before the new villagers, before Faith, and all that good stuff. And so, you know, as of now, continue to keep an eye out for the Dream Address update. We'll continue to, I guess, showcase the island in the form of videos, but as for Dream Address updates, it will just, it'll happen soon, I promise. And now that the majority of the path has been I guess, removed here. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to see kind of a design idea that I have planned for this farm area. I'm not quite sure exactly if I'm going to have to do a little bit more terraforming. Obviously, if I have to, then that'll be okay. But for now, what I would like to do is I would like to go ahead and grab some of those crops, take some of these party arches, add some pathing down as well, and kind of see how it looks. So what I'm going to do is, I think what I like to do is I like to do 3x3 plots for each individual crop. Since we don't have to worry about anything like breeding them like we do for flowers, there's obviously really no need for them to be in any particular pattern. It's more or less just going to be based around how often you water them, to harvest the amount of crops that you would like. But I think 3x3 is pretty good. Even like I said before, I'm not harvesting them though, so it at the end of the day, it doesn't truly matter the design that I go for here. But I think most people can agree that, especially when it comes to games like this, where most things are pretty much on a grid system, if not everything, it's generally better to put things in a pretty even distribution. So even in games like Stardew Valley, whenever I have to make a crop little area, I always try to make it as evenly as possible. 3x3, 5x5, all that good stuff. So we have our 9 crops. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand right here in the middle, and I'm just going to simply plant. Another quick trick for everybody, if you didn't know already. Your character tends to work in a 3x3 grid, including the space that they're standing on. So if you need to plant a lot of stuff in rapid succession around you, just go ahead and, plant while standing in the middle, and you'll get all 9. So I'm not quite sure exactly how many lights I want to use in particular, but I know what I want to do is I want to have lights go into the entrance of each individual crop section, which is going to require a lot of Nook miles and a lot of lights. But I would like to pull some out and see how it looks, maybe even on a couple of crop areas. So what I'll do is I will place the plain party lights arch just kind of right here, I guess, in the middle. That way it kind of leads into the crop area here. And then I wonder if having 2 of these lights right next to each other would be a bit much. It actually doesn't seem like all that much. It actually is kind of cool. I think I might add some fencing around it as well to kind of block off the crop area there, and maybe even add some fencing around to do that as well, or even make it a little bit larger. This isn't going to be the official path that I'm going to use here, but it's more or less just going to be kind of a placeholder. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and checkerboard it as well, or at least space it. That way I'm not using too much. And if for whatever reason I decide I don't like this, then I can simply just remove it. But as it stands right now, I think that's looking pretty good. So what we'll do is we'll add another, not crop section there, we'll add another crop section right here, and we'll kind of see how much space we have left to work with. We have another 3x3 crop circle here. Going to take our last plain party art slides that I have available to me. And so I think I actually really like this. The only thing that I would say that it's kind of bothersome is the fact that this pathway here is kind of thin, but I guess that's not that big of a deal since you're not really going to be traversing along the outside all that much, or at least that I'm thinking about. So I think this is a pretty good start. Another thing, obviously, as well, is the lack of symmetry. What I could do for symmetry purposes is I guess I could maybe even move this over here, move this light over, and if anything, honestly, maybe I just remove this completely and have it so that the lights in the farm are actually the main focal point of everything that you're going to be looking at here. I know that having arch lights in the entrance might also be a good way to do it too, but I don't know. There's something about having it here like this off to the side that's actually kind of nice too. Well, overall, I would say that I really like the overall design of how this is looking. I love the lights, and I love that you have the ability to kind of walk through it. I think I've always wanted something like this, these hanging lights. Now, granted, I wish that there was a way to make them a little bit longer. I wish that... I know that 1x3 is already pretty large for an item, but I even wish that it would go even like as a 1x4 or 1x5. Think of it something like when you're placing a bridge down and it starts to try and recognize exactly the distance of where you're standing versus where you want it to go. That's kind of what I was hoping for the arch lights, but I know that that's incredibly wishful thinking. What I'm going to do instead is I'm actually going to go ahead and work more off of the area that I have kind of laid out for the farm, and then I will adjust the entrance accordingly. I don't think I'm too dead set on the overall appearance of this entrance. If anything, honestly, just to kind of give myself freedom of mind, I'm going to go ahead and remove everything up at the front. That way, you know, I find that when I design islands, it's really easy for me, or when I design areas in particular, I find that it has to be easier for me to remove it completely and then put it back. I know that for a lot of people that might seem a bit tedious, but the reason I really prefer to do it that way instead is because if I take it all away and then I put it back, it means that I'm really committing to that item choice. And not only that, it's because if it's completely blank, it means that I have the ability and option to kind of see things in a different perspective. Even just this silo sitting right over here is blocking a very significant portion of my view behind it since it's so tall. And even though the silo might look good there, there might be something else that might look good there as well. So one piece of advice that I always give to people, especially those that kind of have anxiety or any sort of thing towards island designing, is don't be afraid to, you know, mess up. Don't be afraid to redo things if you don't like them. That's just kind of the way that it goes, and you might like the thing that you make new instead. So always give things a shot. Now that I'm looking at it, this would actually be a wonderful place for like a plaza. I don't know if that's just like the default thing that I tend to go for whenever I see a gigantic empty space like this, but there's a lot of room just right here in the middle, and I think I could probably do something with it, although I don't know. I still really want to stick to the whole crop thing. This is kind of a nice idea right here. I do like the idea of having it be this kind of large. If anything, I might bring these lights in closer to me and then maybe do something here in the entrance to each individual crop section, and then maybe do something to make it a little bit more symmetrical. But overall, I think that this is starting to look very good. It's definitely looking better than it was even just a few days ago. I would love to know in the comments section down below too if you guys are still utilizing the farming aspect of this game. Like I said before, I have all my crops out on the beach and I don't really harvest them. And even in previous videos, I've mentioned the fact that I don't really actually, you know, I don't actually really even cook anything. I find that the benefit to cooking things is actually not as great as just eating fruit. But not only that, you know, I mean, what is the point of harvesting all those crops? Eventually, you're going to like run out of space. And I know that we all just got recently hit with a 5,000 space inventory upgrade for those of us who have upgraded their house all the way through. But even then, I feel like you might have a lot of tomatoes and a lot of wheat and a lot of sugarcane. But yeah, let me know below if you guys are still managing your farms, harvesting your crops, and cooking food. I imagine they would be incredibly great gifts for your villagers. But other than that, I still don't harvest them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and move the entrance over here to the left-hand side. I'm just going to go ahead and move some of these fences here as well. And these balloons today are quite cumbersome. All right, so I'm going to move this fence over here to the right. I'm actually going to make the entrance over here, and I'm starting to like how this is looking a little bit better. Once again, I'm just going to go ahead and remove everything up at the front because even though this was a nice idea, I'm not going to fully commit to it. I'm liking how this is turning out, and I think this is something that I want to stick with as we move forward here. So I have 2 crop plots available to me now. How many crops are there total? I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that's 5 more crops that I need to put out. Okay, so we have 2 places for crops here, and there's not a lot of room if I want to continue on with this design. So let me take a look and see how many more crops here. So I have 1 crop out already. I know one of these is pumpkins, which I guess is not entirely necessary. So 1, 2, 3. I guess there's 3 extra crops that I should be growing, maybe 4. I think there's 5 or 6 total, not including pumpkins. I can't remember since pumpkins have so much variation. Another thing that I could do as well is I could actually have 3 separate sections for party lights, and then instead of having them all be separated by one single path, I could actually just make it so that there are 3 plots back here kind of going up. So we would put some party lights, for example. I'm just going to take these as a placeholder. I'm not sure how this is going to look, but it would be an entrance to one of the crop sections right over here. And then let me just paint out a 3x3 section really quick. I'm really liking how this is actually turning out. Unfortunately, if I put another 3x3 over here to the left of it, there's only going to be enough room for a small walkway section in between 2 party lights, but I think that would actually be okay for the grand scheme of things. Maybe even here, I don't even put party lights off to the side, although that would be, unfortunately, a little bit awkward. What I could even do is I could even separate this particular farming section from the other ones by putting up some more fencing over here. So just for, I guess, the sake of testing out here, I'm just going to grab some of these fences right here and kind of show you guys what I'm talking about. So what I would do is I would put the fences out here in the front, and then I would simply leave them there, and then we would put some crop sections back here in the back, and it would be like another section that you could walk into, and then you would just pluck the crops up here if you wanted to. And of course, we certainly can't leave this open, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to then continue on with the custom pathing here. It's not even, and it's always going to bother me if it's not. This pathway was not even, and it always bothers me if it never is. And there you have it. Well, not exactly the finishing touches on this farm, but I think it obviously looks better than it did even 15 minutes ago. So I like the idea of how this is going. I'm going to kind of sit on this idea for maybe a couple of days, or even just at least one day, see how I feel about it. And then I will definitely come back to this sometime in the near future. Well, for today, I think I am all done, at least with the farm designing part of, of my day here on Animal Crossing New Horizons. Let's see what else we can get into today. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to do something that I completely forgot about doing last year and basically didn't do like the entire year at all. And so I want to fix something that I'm going to, if I don't fix now, will never be fixed. And that is to take all of my Christmas decorations down before it gets to summertime in Animal Crossing New Horizons. I don't know how many of you guys still have your Christmas tree up at this point, but I actually finally made the conscious decision this year to take down my Christmas tree before March like 5th or something. Last year when I had my Christmas tree up, I left it up literally until what felt like springtime. Here in Arizona, we like barely observe 4 seasons. We get like 3 months of 100-degree summer and then like 9 months of 60-degree winter time. So I never really know what I'm gonna get every now and again, but yeah. So I kept it up until it got really warm here. Let's put it that way. So we have the Christmas tree put away, and so let's go ahead and change the wallpaper now too, since this is something that I also never changed from last year into this year. I think I didn't change this until maybe like September, like August or October. I don't know why I got my months mixed up like that until of last year. And then even once I changed it, it was already getting ready to become winter time again. And so I basically changed it back, and now here we are again. But with the current aesthetic, I do like the brick walling. I think the brick wall that comes on the red brick wall might be a bit too red. In addition to that, what I really like about the pillars and the countertops for what I have here inside is the fact that it matched the brick that was part of the brick on the winter snowy wallpaper. If you kind of look, it's not entirely the same, but it looks, pretty darn close. And if I'm being completely honest with you, if you are someone who's going for a house that seemed more so for the theme than I guess like what your island is, definitely not a bad choice. To just stick with that pillar and this scheme here. Although this looks not too bad either. The bricks are a little bit smaller than the bricks that are on this wallpaper, but I think that's fine. So I think I'm going to keep this, and then what I would like to do is I would like to go ahead and change the wallpaper, or not, sorry, the wallpaper, the flooring, but I don't really have anything here currently. Most everything I'd really rather not utilize. Unfortunately, it looks like it might be the light parquet flooring, if I'm saying that correctly. That's gonna have to do it. Although the spooky flooring is nice too. I just hate that it has pumpkins all over the place. I guess we'll stick with the white brick wallpaper, and then the not the Turkey Day flooring. We'll stick with the light parquet flooring for now, and then might be something I change as the days go on. Can't have a TV facing nothing though, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this rug back here to in front of. You certainly can't have a couch looking at nothing though, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a TV stand. Where is it? Or even just like, I guess even a fireplace would be good. I think I've always wanted to place a fireplace here, especially during the winter time, but I didn't have room for it. So which one? Let's try just a regular brick fireplace. And how about this fireplace? I think for this particular house, we have to use the one that's a bit more on color. I think a dark brick fireplace might be a bit off, although it does match the bookshelf over there, so it does add a little bit of, I guess, you know, that's the color palette, but I think this is actually not too bad right now. So I'm going to wall-mounted TV up here as well. Never really prefer wall-mounted TVs in real life. I always feel like I'm just going to, I don't know, one day I'm going to wake up and the whole thing's going to have been fallen onto the ground at that point. But here it's safe, so we'll put some there. And then we'll decorate a little bit. I think there's enough room for a, what's it called? Yep, there's certainly room for a... What is the word that I'm thinking of? A table! I'm thinking of a table! Oh my gosh, I'm thinking of a table. So I would like to put down a coffee table, preferably something a bit small, but also on the I guess, longer side. I don't think I really have anything. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the table that I want to use is here. Happy Home Paradise has done a great job of making me really, really wish that some of the things that we could get in there are here, but that's okay. I guess what we'll do, low folding table is probably not good enough. We'll probably use a rattan low table just as a placeholder for now, but basically that's the vibe that I would be going for right there. It's kind of a bit awkward that the couch isn't completely centered with the wall, but also the fact that it's not, unfortunately, oh my god. It's the top of the hour. You know what? That's the first time that's happened. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. We're going to never have that happen ever again. So if that scared you the way that it scared me, I'm so sorry. And what in the world? Lyman, this has turned into something completely different. I was not expecting this house decor venture to turn into what this is. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've played. Unfortunately, though, what I've learned with these villager visits to your home is that there's really nothing that they do. I mean, if you go to another room and you come back to them, they will inevitably ask you if you want to play a game. But I also think that if you go to another room long enough and then you come back to them, they just want to straight up leave. So I don't really know. This used to be the office, which I still need to get the gamer chair and gamer table for. Had a lot of offers for people who wanted to send me them, and I thank you very much. But I think I'll wait until I see it myself. Okay, well, no game this time, but it did bring me a pair. Okay. Well, I guess that'll do it, Lyman. Well, with that being the top of the hour, everybody, I just wanted to really quick wish everybody formally a happy new year. I hope that 2022 is filled with wonderful times, joy, happiness, good memories with friends and family, hopefully this year. I know that a little bit last year we could, but this year definitely more so. But of course, everyone stay safe out there. I hope you guys have been enjoying the 2.0 update. I know that things have been fairly slow for the 2.0 update for me. I don't know about everybody else, but I do think the 2.0 update had added a lot for me in the very beginning. And even now, I would say that there's still a lot of content for me to explore, but admittedly, I have been taking it a lot slower, so much so to the point where I'm basically only experiencing this game maybe once every few days. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, it's keeping the spark alive. I think that a lot of people may have potentially burned themselves out on the 2.0 update the moment that it came out. And I'm not saying that there's nothing to do once you do a majority of the update, you know, within its first month, but certainly I can see how that can be a problem for continuation of stuff. So I've been taking my time with it, really, and even just coming back today to record a video for everybody was certainly a lot of fun. So I hope that this was enjoyable, and I hope that if you use this video as like background noise or to maybe help you for work or for study or even just like for maybe even building your own things in Animal Crossing New Horizons, I hope that it was even inspirational, fun, or just a nice chill thing to have on in the background here. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Keep an eye out for more videos this year. I want to be a little bit better about posting not just Animal Crossing, but a variety of content for everybody this year. So keep an eye out. I'm really excited for it. Until next time, everybody, thank you so much for always hanging out. Here's to a wonderful 2022. Much love. Take care of yourselves. And until next time, everybody, have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Bye now.